Hey guys, welcome to the Money Show, episode 25. Go ahead, if you are in the feed, please like this video. I'm going to put that in the chat before I go to the table of contents. Like this video. It really helps and it's greatly appreciated. Alrighty, so the topic, the first question that I want to have everybody muse upon, including myself, before we get into everything so we can answer it later, is do you think that the stock market is overvalued at the moment? As far as what we're going to talk about this week, excuse me guys, I'm also feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm going to try to get through this show. But we're going to be talking about the great week the stock market has had. We're still in that great week because that started last Friday and it is only Tuesday. We're going to talk about the bad week for Tesla that has happened. And we're also going to talk about Target because there's some things going on at Target. And yeah, I don't know how Target is going to end. Good, bad, indifferent. We don't know. It's probably too early to tell. But for the first topic, let's talk about the stock market. And as of last Friday, we have hit 45,000 points in the Dow Jones index. And that is significant because it has not been that way since December of 2025. And ever since December of 2025, with the new administration, it's been ups and downs. Notably, the down was in April when it fell like 3,000 points. And in addition to the Dow Jones doing well, other indexes did well as well. So S&P 500 had a record number, which I'll talk about in the next slide. NASDAQ did well and Russell 2000 did well. So this was a great weekend to check your 401k balances, just to check them, not to change anything, but just to see, because at this point, any losses that occurred in April of 2025, a few months ago, should have rebounded, and more so at this point because we are where we were in December when it was higher. So that's awesome. And I wanted to report on that this week just because, hi East Boogie, hello as well. Thank you always for being participant in the show. Did you check your 401k? So that leads me to the question, do you think the stock market is overvalued? And I put the answer as probably, maybe. But I mean, over time, no matter what, no matter who was the president, you're going to want it to go from 44 to like 50,000 in the next 4 years. So it don't really matter who it is. It tends to go up every 4 years, you know? So it's probably overvalued, but I don't think the stock market has a preference of who's in office. You know what I'm saying? It tends to go up 10% every year. So I got this source from Yahoo Finance, and this is them kind of recapping. I think they did it on last Friday, August 22nd. These were the actual numbers. And S&P 500, it was its best day in 3 months. For NASDAQ, it was its best day in 2 weeks. Dow 30, I just talked about, was a record closing high, and Russell 2000 best day in 4 months. So all of these did well. I would not be surprised if S&P was like safely 7,000 by December. That's just pure speculation. That's just my guess. And I think 7,000 will be like a good point for them to get to. And so I usually follow Dow 30 as my gauge on how things are going. East Boogie says, no, not lately. I'll check it. Yeah, just check it. I mentioned don't do anything. Just check it just to get like comparison of what's going on. So I usually look at Dow 30, but it made me look into the other ones because I don't know much about them. And the one reason why I like doing this show is I educate myself and then I share with everybody else. So the S&P 500 tracks the 500 largest public companies in America, and their focus is on large cap. And large cap means like they're highly valuated. I think over 250. I don't know if it's million or billion, but one of those, high. And then NASDAQ is known for its tech sector companies. I did not know that because I don't really look at NASDAQ like that. It is also large cap company focused. Dow Jones only follows 30 large public companies in America. And that includes tech, retail, and finance. They do not follow utilities or transportation, which is interesting. I didn't know that. And then Russell 2000 follows 2,000 small cap companies. So those are companies that Investors feel is value to follow because they are slated to hopefully become large cap companies. And if you invested in small cap when they were small and they become large, that's how millionaires are made in the stock market. So that's pretty interesting. So then this week, which is the next week, there was a natural pullback of about 300 points. That is fair because the surge was like 800 points on Friday. And I was wondering what was going to happen this week, and I suspected it was going to be a pullback. But the pullback that's normal. I think it's a normal part of the process. And I'm hoping that even though there was a pullback this week, it is a general trend upward moving forward. I will say that September is known to be slow. I don't know about the rest of the months, but September is known to have like a retraction. So putting that into perspective, and then hopefully we get some growth at the end. I still think that we could be safely at 46.5, hopefully. But again, that's just me speculating. But yeah, it was a good week for the stock market, and I love that for us. Some cautionary signs that we need to worry about, I would say at least throughout the rest of the year 2025, is that we need to be concerned about the probable AI bubble. I think that bubble exists. That's why I asked the question, do you think it's overvalued? I do think it's overvalued because we are over leveraged in tech. Tech, even though it's a small amount of companies and they're high value companies, they are very small minority. And I feel, guys, let me know in the comments or in tonight's live discourse, but I feel like we're going to be disappointed by tech. We are, because we've already been disappointed, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. But China's AI has proven to be better than ours so far. So yeah, I think that's a thing. We also need to watch about inflation. I'm seeing inflation more. I just went grocery shopping or a little bit, and yeah, I'm seeing it. And there are some things I refuse to buy. I'm not paying $8 for something that used to be $5. I'm not paying it. So I can only imagine other things. Like I'm not a big consumer, but I see it in the things that I normally consume, which isn't a lot already. So that is something we need to worry about. And also we need to watch out for the housing market watch, because we're thinking that interest rates are going to go down. I do think they might go down, but it's only going to go down once, because inflation starts rearing its ugly head, and he's going to stop decreasing it. But we need to see if that little decrease in the interest rate is going to really have people buy more homes. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm speculating, I don't think it is, because people are uncomfortable. Things are just too expensive. I wouldn't buy a house right now. I would not buy a house right now. Houses are too expensive. What do y'all think? Do y'all think you would buy a house right now? Like, they would have to drop the prices $200,000 to me buy the house. Minimum. I would just rent. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that one. As far as the next topic is concerned, we're going to talk about Tesla, because Mr. Elon Musk here on the right, he got some things going on. So the first thing I want to talk about is that Tesla has rejected his AI inside of Chinese made Teslas over there where he has his manufacturing site. He makes them over there. They have rejected his AI, which I think is called Grok. In America, Teslas have been using Grok as of last month in 2025. But in China is instead installing DeepSeek in Debao. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but DeepSeek is their AI, which was shown to us earlier this year, and also caused a little dip, I think, in the stock market. I think it was in the first quarter though, because it was a surprise announcement and everybody was so shocked that it was so good. And they were like, we don't need American AI. So that type of AI is going in these Chinese Teslas. And they will be using DeepSeek to do artificial intelligence interaction inside the car. And then there's another software they're using called Debao, which will process voice commands hands-free, like changing the temperature inside the car, locking the car doors, opening the sunroof, things like that. And he was hoping to get that contract, but China's like, no. And the reason why is because they are arguing that their software, I put the logos down here, DeepSeek and ByteDance. ByteDance is the one that makes Debao. They're arguing that their software is cheaper, better, and it's a point of national pride for them, which you can't blame them. You know, they think their stuff is better. and they can't prove that it's not. So Chinese artificial intelligence has potential, in my opinion, to bust US America's tech bubble because yeah, I don't think the world is necessarily stopping for American tech. We will see. They're just, we haven't seen the beef yet. There's a saying like, where's the beef? At the end of the day, when it's time to perform, we need performance. And right now there's a lot of building, but I don't see performance. And I'm telling you right now, ChatGPT is helpful, but it is not foolproof. And I see its, what do you call it? Shortcomings. The only thing that I can see that it does, it helps save time if you know what you're doing. But you have to be skilled in what you're doing. Other than that, it's really, I don't know. So that made me think that I need to research some Chinese Asian market ETFs, and I will be doing that. And a video will be coming soon. The next video that I'm doing for Stock Market Saturdays is on dividends and like how that works and the different type of dividends and how we're taxed. But then after that, I'm going to continue researching different markets. And because of this, I'm interested in seeing like how I can buy into Chinese AI because they're going to make a lot of money and I want in on that investment. The second thing that they're missing out on is apparently Tesla's not paying their bills. And when I say bills, I mean bills to their contractors. So Tesla's a big company, but they contract out smaller companies to do things for them. Makes sense. And these companies are experts and they do this, whatever task they need Tesla to have done. But they have a record of not paying their companies to the tune of $110 million in liens from these companies. And several of these companies have had to go bankrupt. And they argued they wouldn't have gone bankrupt if they had gotten their planned payment that they were supposed to get from Tesla. So these bankrupted companies are reporting that they can't pay their employees. They're running operating budgets without their Tesla payment. So to do that, they're taking out these unnecessary high interest loans. And this is bad press for Tesla. They don't need any more bad press. And I don't know why they're not paying their bills. That seems like bad business to me. Not a good thing. So yeah, take that in note when you're thinking about Tesla and Tesla like services, tools, blase. And then the last topic I want to talk about for a little bit is Target. Because Target is still in trouble. They are missing its bullseye. And that I thought that was a fun play on words. I actually used to work for Target in college in my first professional year in my first profession. And I mean, I did really like Target, but even before the controversy of 2025, Target had gone down. There was just, you could see there was a lack of investment. And I even did a TikTok on it before that. But I want to specifically look at their stock price history for context purposes. So this week it's under $100. Last year, this time it was 160 pretty much. And then 5 years from now it was 150, which was no growth really between the 5 years. But its peak, which is in between the 1 and 5 years, was $261. So I argue, and I was going to make a TikTok about it, but I took it down. I didn't even post it because it's controversial. But I argue this might be a good time to buy it. Like, this is Warren Buffett's territory. Last episode, I shared how Warren Buffett bought United Healthcare at a 60% discount because simply the value was so much lower. At its peak, it was $400. He bought it at 60% less than that, right? And I argue this is what a Warren Buffett does. Now, will Warren Buffett do it? I'm watching. But just from the numbers, it would be smart to buy it. Because even if it went down, you're only going to lose $97. It's not going to, like, you're going to lose $261. You know what I'm saying? So I had half a mind to buy one stock because it's only up from here. And that's what I'm learning Warren Buffett's play is. He sold a bunch of stuff because he sold high. He didn't see it going up. If it was $261 and it's $97 now, there's plenty of room for it to go up. The reasons why they're beleaguered at the moment is the boycotts. They decided to pull back everything from DEI, and people didn't like that. I was one of those people, I have to say. And I haven't really been in Target like that. And I don't miss Target. It was a nice experience, but again, the experience went down way before 2025 because I was someone who was an avid Target shopper. I'll also say the news articles that I was reading, I think it was AP News. They have done a lack of investment in online commerce chains, as opposed to Walmart. Walmart, the last 5 years, I would say that's an arbitrary number, but you get what I'm saying. They did a lot of their chain logistics stuff for online. They invested heavily into that to compete with Amazon, and it's working. And then the last thing is prices are not competitive. When I think Target, I think prices are a little bit better, but it's a nicer experience and they have better quality stuff. In 2025 or anytime after 2020, baby, we need, what do you call it? Hey guys, there are more people in the chat. Say hi and please like the video. We need cheaper prices, and Target is not associated with cheaper prices. That's a good thing, but that's a bad thing in this economy, as well as the boycotts and their lack of investment. So, yeah. All I'm saying is I would not be surprised if Warren Buffett buys up a bunch of Target stock, because it is more than 50%, probably 60% discount too. Why not? And so the last topic was my normal topic, is following gold prices for 2025. And gold is a little bit up as opposed to last week, but still not at its peak. It is $35 from its peak, that means it's quite expensive still. It's holding its price. It's holding its weight in gold, as the saying is. And that's pretty much it. That's my wrap up for the show. Hopefully the stock market keeps going up. That would be nice. I will be looking at it and we'll be updating y'all on anything crazy, good or bad, which I had to do this week because it was a crazy rally. It was very exciting. It has been an interesting year for Tesla, but I'm shocked that they're not paying their bills because they're such a big company. I don't know why they're not paying these people their money. I'm considering buying Target stock. I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't done it yet, but I'm considering it just purely from the numbers aspects. And I just gotta find me an extra $100. And gold is still a commodity and it's not being tariffed at the moment. That's all I have for now, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you're seeing financial news-wise that you want me to cover. If I get like a comment or something, I'll be happy to look into it and report back to you guys next week. We keep moving forward, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your Tuesday and week. See you later.